Okay, so the first thing that we have is, what is a project? Now, project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. This is something that we have to be very particular about, and we have to understand it very clearly, that what exactly is a project, or what do you call a something, or when do you call something as a project. So remember two golden rules: that something that is never done before, that's a project, and something that is temporary, that is also a project. So when you are coming up with a new building, or when you're constructing a new building, or you are making a new car model, so when you are making anything new which has not yet been done in that environment, that's a project. And whenever there's a project, it is always be temporary in nature. It will not be an ongoing endeavor that you enter into. It is always going to be temporary in nature. So understand it like this, that Toyota or BMW or Audi, they say that we want to launch a new car. So right from that point, when they said we want to launch a new car, till the point there is a new car manufactured, the first car, it's a project. And then after that first car, there would be maybe hundreds of cars manufactured every day. Then that becomes operation. In this case, our output was a unique product, a car. It's a product. You can touch it, see, feel, tangible. It's a product. In other cases, it might be a service wherein you can't really touch or feel the product. You can't touch or feel the output, but as it is a service, you will deliver the service. And also, it can be that it's a result-oriented project. Many a times you will have projects where you want to improve your existing scenario, or you want to improve the existing conditions. So when you are improving anything, it's a result oriented project, or the output of that project will be a result. So I'm sure most of you would have heard of Burj Khalifa. Have you? Or Empire State Building, or any other building like that. So let's say uh, there are lots of means any building you think in your mind, and you say that I'm going to make exact same building in another location. Now, is that a unique product? Yes. Why? Because location is different. So if you were constructing the same building at the same place, exactly same, then I would say that it might not be the project. But because you're going to construct the same building but in a different location, where the environmental conditions, the political conditions, and lots of other things would be different and not exactly the same as the one in which, or the one where you had the conditions in the previous building. So there is uniqueness to it, and of course it would be a project and not a product. Sorry, not an operation. Services are anything that you actually can't touch, see, or feel, but then you use them. So internet is a service, or a taxi is a service, or hospital is a service, or um, like this there could be lots of different services. So like I said, two golden rules: temporary and unique. Like, remember, although repetitive elements may be present in some project deliverables, this repetition doesn't change the fundamental uniqueness of the project work. So this is what exactly I was telling you in the two building, or two similar type of buildings in different locations, that although that some of the deliverables are repeated, but doesn't mean that it's an operation. Moving on, how projects are different from operations. Projects, they create their own charter, they have their own team, and they have their own goal. Whereas operations, they have their semi-permanent charter because their objectives or their strategies are defined by the business, or they work on the strategies of the business, or they are changed in order to work as per the strategy of the overall business, whereas projects have got their own strategy, which of course are not denying the fact that will be in line with the business strategy or the overall organizational strategy, but it would be more unique to the project, whereas operations would be all working towards the same strategy of the organization. Projects are the enablers of change. Whenever there is a change, you would have to implement it via project, whereas operations try to maintain the status quo, or they try to maintain the same status as long as possible. The output is always a unique product, service or result, whereas in case of operations the output is a standard product, service or result, something that you are doing again and again. In operations, you would see heterogeneous teams. Heterogeneous teams means people from all different domains come together and make up the project team. Whereas in operations, you would see homogeneous, means that IT team is different, and quality team is different, HR team is different. So you would find that teams are made up of a single type of speciality or single type of skill. That's why we call them as homogeneous. Whereas in projects, you would find that project teams are a mix of people from quality, HR, IT, and trainings, operations, administration. So they are a mix of different people. So that's why they have heterogeneous teams. Projects have start and end date, and they're always temporary, whereas operations are ongoing and repetitive. Projects closes after they have attained their objective, and operations objective is to sustain the business. So they can never shut down the operations until unless the higher management doesn't want to close down the business itself. So the objective of the operation is to keep the business running. So if they want to shut down the operations, that would mean that they will have to even stop the business from running. Okay, let's move on to what is project management. Before I move on to what is project management, let's just talk about the word management here. So you would find this word management being used a lot of times, like you would see quality management, HR management, or administration management. So there are management, or there is management everywhere. You have lower management, medium level, middle level management, or higher management. So what do managers do? Managers, be it any manager, they plan, delegate, monitor, and control. Bottom line, they will never execute themselves. So remember that managers, they don't do the work, but they plan the work, they delegate it to the team members, they monitor the performance of the team members, and if something goes wrong, they are having the authority, or they are supposed to take control of the situation and probably put it in a, or manage it in the right way. So planning, delegating, monitoring, and controlling are the four main objectives, or four main tasks of any level of management. And same would go for the project manager who is following the project management. So the project manager who is following the project management will also plan the project. He will delegate the tasks, he will monitor it and control it along with some other small tasks. Or this was just what the project manager does. Now what exactly is project management? Is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities in order to meet the requirements. So knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques that you are learning in the session that we are right now going through, or knowledge that you have learned in the past from your experience, or from your studies, or from wherever you have got the knowledge or the skills, the tools and techniques, using all these together in order to ensure that you are able to, or your project is able to meet the requirements or the objectives, is called project management. Project requirements, stakeholder needs, wants and expectations from the project. So when you talk about the knowledge, I'm talking about the functional or the technical knowledge. Skills, I'm talking about the communication, leadership, people management, all those skills. Tools like MS Projects or Whiteboard or Primavera, like these, there could be different tools that you might use. Techniques like critical path method or network diagram, root cause analysis, that again we will learn during this session. So all these you would have to apply in order to ensure that you are able to meet the stakeholder needs, wants and expectations, because those are what you define as project requirement.